Had you ever testified in a courtroom before? How was that?
I don't think I have. No, that's the first time. Yep.
How do your guys feel about you fighting for them, basically, to do the right thing?
Well, you always want to do right by your players. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure, particularly when, you got a good kid, someone like Rashawn, who, you feel like there's merit to what he was fighting.
Y'all spoken really highly of him throughout this offseason. Just at what point early on did you see, like when he got here, that he could be that kind of guy?
I saw it when I recruited him. His personality's infectious, and I just remember he pretty much in athletics, just like in life, if someone knows who they are, they're probably destined to be successful, right? There's a constant journey of who am I? Here's who I am. Then, right down the line in life, it's the same as an athlete. And with Rashawn, I could just tell from the moment he got here on his recruiting visit, this was no pretender. He knew who he was. And if you know who you are, then you can lead others. And so I saw that on his recruiting visit, and then how vocal he was. And, so the other players respect him.
How frustrating was the first two waivers getting rejected and that whole process where you didn't even know if the guy's going to be on your team?
Yeah.
And how much of a relief was it yesterday to get that news?
You hope everything ends how it's supposed to. And I know that based on, looking at the circumstances early, I just didn't feel like this was just it for him based on the circumstances. I just didn't feel that ever in my heart. I felt that he was in front of the right people. They may look at it in his favor, which, for now they have.
Speaking of a sense of relief, have you seen a change in him since the decision came down and more relaxed from him or anything like that?
Yeah, he was just, you could tell it weighing on him. This isn't for him about, he played basketball for free. Mm. He just wants to play. That's for sure. And so he's just happy that, they didn't tell him yesterday you can't play. And so he's just happy that he got to come to practice and keep going.
He's been wearing number 12, which is a big number here at A&M. I'm just curious if there's any correlation between the two.
Rashawn Aggie, you mean?
Yeah.
Told him he needed to change his name. No, I don't think there's a correlation. I'm so bad with numbers. I don't even know our players' numbers, and then I don't know the players of other. I don't know the names of other players of teams we're playing. We were playing someone he has number. Who's that? It's number 23. LeBron. So it's I don't even know our players' numbers. I didn't even know it was 12 to the other day. So.
But you make that joke. There was a Joe Thiesman that changed it to Theismann.
Yeah.
So what? I'll vote for Aggie.
I like it. It's fitting, right? It's fitting.
With we talked about how many shooters y'all have and good shooters. When you're working with your point guards, how do you talk through making sure everybody gets the shots they want and enough shots and everything like that?
Someone once said if you play basketball the right way, the ball finds who it's supposed to go to. So I'm never been one of these you got to hunt to find the shooters. You just got to hunt to make the right play, make the right pass, not let the ball stick. And when you're in an offense that's more equal opportunity, that's more important than ever. You can't have a selfish player out there because then the ball will never find the guy supposed to take the shot.
We talked with Pop, and his recovery journey spilled over into coming here, of course. Just what have you seen from him, and especially now that he's been 100% here lately?
Yeah, I think he's got the itch to get back and get to 100% and then start playing games. I think it's tough on him. He sat out nearly a year. That was really tough on him. Basketball is a large part of who he is. Take that away from him, it's a struggle. So mentally, he seems to be doing better. It's not going to always be easy. He's going to have some growing pains as he gets back, and I think everybody's got to understand that. It's not going to be in mid-season form first game. He's got to understand that, and he's got to keep fighting because, if you're going to do something significant, it's going to be really hard. Him coming back, playing good, winning basketball, and being a leader on the team, that's going to be really hard. So he's got to know that and keep grinding.
You have media days tomorrow. The season's less than a month away, pretty much. Does it feel like since you're opening your introductory press conference that things have moved fast, moved slow, kind of getting to this point?
Yeah, I don't even know. I hadn't thought about it. Like I just, it's here. I know it was a blur. I know that there's so much uncertainty with just filling a roster. Um, but what I can say is all you can do in any spot in athletics or life for that matter, do the best you can do with the hand that you're dealt. And long term, if you play the game that way, then you're going to win. And so I really feel that up to this point, from getting here in mid-April till now, we've done the best we can do, and these players are. No one would say, hey, let's, have no one on the team mid-April. No one would say, let's have 5 or 6 guys here in the summer. That it was out of our control, out of these players' controls. No one would say, hey, let's McKenzie have an injury, Pop can't practice. Do we have AG in there as a big piece when we're building our offense or not? We don't know if he's playing. But I can say that we're doing the best we can do. And if we do that all the way through, you're going to have your best chance for success. Long term and medium term, right? And medium term is this season. So we want to be playing our best basketball towards the end of the season because basketball is a tournament sport. And we're going to be playing our best basketball at the end of the season.
Speaking of SEC Media Day, what can you learn or can your players learn from an experience like that, getting there to go top in that spot?
I guess it's always good for players to be in that deal because they're going to have that when they go in the job world. They're going to be sitting in front of people, asking questions about them and their organization, how they can sell themselves. So that's always good. In terms of the hype of this, the preseason stuff, it doesn't even matter. It's kind of irrelevant to anything, right? Like at the end of the day, no one's going to remember who was good at media days. No one's going to remember what teams were predicted to be good or bad. It's just going to be, are you willing to go work really hard to reach your potential? So other than that, it doesn't matter for all athletes to be on a stage where they have to answer questions the whole world can hear, win or lose games that the whole world can see, make or miss free throws in front of 13,500 people, and deal with that pressure is going to prepare them for life that when they walk into a job interview, hopefully it feels like nothing.
Pop had mentioned that when he visited here, part of what y'all did in film study was look at some of his turnovers. I'm just curious what you've seen from him in his time here that maybe he's made progress in improving in that area.
Yeah, for the short time he's practiced, he's seeing that. His reads are quick. He's got a high basketball IQ. He has some really good plays, and then he'll have some, strikeouts. And just having more of those solid plays, hit more singles, less strikeouts. And but I'm surprised for sitting out a year. I certainly know that he would say, and others would say that have seen him play his best would say, hey, he's not near that right now. But he's way further down the road than I would have predicted for someone to sit out a year. I mean, you're talking about no true strength training, no conditioning, no individual work, and then no live play. That's a lot. And so he's further down the road than I thought he would be at this point, but still has got a long way to go.
How is McKenzie progressing, and how's he kind of handled his situation?
Matt keeps working. I mean, he's in there lifting weights. He's gained weight. He looks good. Y'all want to know, like, when you're looking for measurables and athleticism and you recruit a player, like, that's what they're supposed to look like is McKenzie. So that's what we want him to look like. He looks like that. So he looks the part, and he was playing the part until he got hurt. He's not taking it for granted, though. I mean, he was late to this deal because he was in the weight room lifting. Like, his mind's on the right stuff. He can't shoot totally, but he was shooting in the boot on one leg, right? I mean, not just goofing off, like getting up form reps. So there's no doubt he'll get back to he'll get back as quick as anybody on our team if they were injured because of his work ethic.
How big are free throws going to be this season, and how you emphasize growth in that area?
I played for a coach one time, and he asked this question. He said, it was Matt after game, said, how are you going to miss wide open free throws? That always stuck with me. It's like, of course they're wide open. It's a free throw, right? They can't block it. But hopefully that's what we're saying. Like, we don't miss wide open free throws. I don't work on free throws a lot. We've always shot at a decent clip. If you have good shooters, you're probably going to make more. I just like pressure free throws. I mean, I could go in there and probably make 20 out of 20 free throws to give me enough time. Could I make one right now with the game on the line with, not being in that situation in 20 years? I don't know. We just try to make all our free throws in practice mean something. And, we'll see when the bright lights come on. But I'd predict we got a good shooting team. We should make free throws. But the right guys getting to the line matter, right? right? The right line, get 90% free throw shooters getting fouled shooting free throws is a big deal. You know, if we got some of our lower guys getting fouled missing free throws, our percentage as a team won't be near as good.
Going back home to Birmingham tomorrow, just you got any spots you're gonna have to hit up while you're there?
Well, College Station's my home, but that was my home. But fair enough. It's grown on me here, if that tells you something. I won't have time. I think we're flying right out of there. I can't say where we're going. Got to go see a recruit from there. So I won't spend much time there. Is anybody going? People there?
We have people.
Yeah, good. They need to know some spots. I got some good places around there. Yeah,
Pizza,
I
right?
know where they're doing the media days. I grew up and lived like a mile from there, and my elementary school was like half a mile from there. So it's pretty wild.
Can you talk about your experience addressing the 12th man at Kyle Field at Yale practice the other night?
I got so much respect for the Yale leaders because when you're talking, like this is so weird. You're talking on a microphone, but it's like echoing 3 seconds later. And so like I don't even know how I was able to even form a sentence because it's like when you're on the phone, you know, and you hear yourself echo, what do you say? I'll call you back. You can't do that. So for those Yale leaders to be as incredible as they are and to basically hear it being regurgitated back to them, it's pretty amazing. But no, it's great. The passion was great. I'm glad our team got introduced. Hopefully one day we're doing that and that place is full because we're celebrating a national championship in basketball. And then I'll talk as long as y'all need me to up there.
We have time for a couple more, unless you guys are good with Coach.
Bucky, I want to ask you, I'm sure it was intentional, but you brought in a lot of former staffers under Billy Kennedy. How has that helped things, and what kind of has that brought, having a former coach here? And I know he's involved too.
Yeah.
It seems like he's been at some practices and stuff.
Yeah, knowing the landscape, I mean, we brought several coaches, our strength coach, Kyle Keller, Frank's coach here, Mitch's coach here. We kept Shane on staff. So this place has got its own unique home feel. And so I thought it was important that we found great people that have been here and understood that. In this era of college athletics where boosters can play an important role, like a very important role to your success, we've had great connections to those who have supported the program through the years. And that's been tremendous. And I'll say that without that, when we got here mid-April, it would have been almost impossible to put together a roster because you had to build together the resources in that environment to do so. And that was attributed to the connections, some of the people that we hired. Kyle Keller, you know, embedded in Texas, you know, was integral in rallying those supporters together.
All right, guys, that's all we have time for. Thank you.
Thank you all.